Well, hello, I'm back here. Welcome, I'm Angela, and we're in the kitchen today, but we're not cooking or canning or preserving just yet, but I definitely have quite a bit of projects ahead of me. So I have in front of me an Azure standard order, and we're gonna go through what I opted to order this time around. I'm gonna show you the things that I got. I do have things that need to go into the freezer and refrigerator. So we're gonna just discuss what I have, then we'll discuss why I order through them and who they are if you've never heard of them before. I love watching Azure standard orders because I learn about things that I didn't know they had. They're constantly adding things to their website. And I actually grabbed some things for this order because I saw somebody else's order and I was so excited about that. I can't wait to share it with you. So we're gonna just jump right in. We're gonna work our way down here. So I have, double check how many pounds, 10 pounds of limes. I will freeze dry these limes. The last time I did limes in a big batch like this was 2 years ago when I first received my freeze dryer, and I absolutely love freeze dried citrus. So I have limes, and they all look very, very good. So if I need to put these in the fridge, because I have a couple things that I probably need to get to before these, my freeze dryer sort of has a line already. But if I had to, I could just slice these up, put them in bags, and store them in the freezer until I'm ready to freeze dry them. So I have 10 pounds of limes. And I have 10 pounds of lemons. So same thing, I'm gonna freeze dry these. I have one on here that is definitely no bueno. So that's gonna go into the garbage. That is the gamble that you take, of course, when you're ordering mass amounts of produce, but that's okay. That one's kind of soft, so I'm hoping. Now we'll get into this later. It does come on a refrigerated truck, but we'll talk about like how far it has to come and everything once we get through all of this. So 10 pounds of lemons. And then I ordered 2, 4, 6, 8, which is a case of whole chicken. This is Mary's free range organic chicken, air chilled. I've been ordering this for several years, ever since I started ordering through Azure. I absolutely love their chicken. They are a bit smaller because home raised chickens aren't pumped with antibiotics and should not be, you know, ginormous. The flavor's wonderful. I do tend to buy more whole chickens than I do chicken parts. I just find it more economical to do it this way. I have 50 pounds of potatoes. I just canned potatoes. That video is up. You can see me do it. These are my favorite type of potatoes to can. I can potatoes one time a year. I find it tedious to try and take the skins off of all the potatoes. It's really the hardest part of the whole process, so I do it once a year. I was able to get up 11 quarts maybe, I don't remember, but I need more. I'm also going to use these. I'm going to take the biggest, fattest ones that are in here, and I'm going to make twice baked potatoes, but I'm going to then store them in my freezer for a very easy, simple side dish for dinners when I need something quick in a hurry type of thing. So I ordered 50 pounds. I will store a little bit for fresh eating, of course. Potatoes do not tend to store well in my home, so I have a dark cabinet underneath my counter over here, actually, where I store my potatoes, and I keep it very cool in the house as well. They still don't store very well. So I'll store enough to get me through maybe a couple of weeks, but the rest have to be preserved. Okay, and I'm gonna bring you along for most of these projects, so don't worry. I also have 40 pounds of onions. This is something I tacked onto this order because I didn't want to go to the grocery store just for onions. So I did order onions. It may have been a little bit more than what I would have spent at like a Sam's Club or something, but I didn't want to go to Sam's Club just for one item, you know. So I did get 40 pounds. What I'm going to do with this is I use my KitchenAid food processor, and I have an attachment that will dice produce for you, and I dice the onions. I will put them in bags, freezer bags, vacuum seal them actually, in small portion sizes to use for cooking. I don't like anything less than having to chop an onion every single time I need to cook. I find it such a wasteful task, especially when you're coming in and you're hungry, you're tired, and you just don't want to be cooking necessarily. And I love cooking, I really do. Certain things I hate having to do every single time. So I'm actually going to see if purchasing this, we'll see how many bags I get, and then I'm going to do the math to see, is it cheaper for me just to go and buy them already pre-bagged, or is it cheaper for me to do it myself? We'll see. We're going to do that together, and we'll find out the cost factor. If I'm cooking onions, I don't care if it's frozen. It's going to be cooked whether it was from fresh or frozen. You do need fresh onions, of course, for certain type of dishes when you're eating it fresh, but for the most part, the white onions that I use are generally for cooking purposes anyway. I love going to my freezer and just grabbing a bag of frozen onions to start my meal. That saves me 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 minutes, depending on how many I need to slice up. Okay. All right. Oh, elephant in the room. I have, how many pounds is this? 25 pounds of carrots. Organic. These are number 2 carrots, which they sell for the purpose of juicing or, you know, I guess they're not like your big, beautiful, blemish-free carrots. I'm peeling these, chopping them up, and throwing them in a jar. They don't need to be beautiful. They don't need to be big. They just need to be fresh and in good condition. So we're gonna stock the pantry for carrots. That generally gives me about 1.5 years worth of supply for carrots. The amount that I have left on my shelf now could stretch me a couple months if need be. So, but because I was doing this order, I just am gonna do it now. So 'tis the season for food preserving. I have a case here of pineapples. If you watched my What I Will Can and Not Can Again, we actually discussed whether or not I would be canning pineapples this year. And I'm pretty sure I told you I wasn't. And guess what? I lied, because I am. This was a last minute purchase, a tack it on to the order. I just decided having one jar on my shelf didn't sit right with me, and so I'm going to do the cost as well to see if this was worth the purchase, and I'll let you know. We'll do that together. There is 8 pineapples in this case. Over here I have 2 boxes, 10 pounds each, jalapenos. You're probably asking, Angela, what do you need 20 pounds of jalapenos for? Well, I will tell you. I need them because I do candied jalapenos every year. Last year, I ordered 20 pounds. thought for sure it would be enough for 2 years and I wouldn't have to do it this year. Not the case. Between our love for candied jalapenos and us gifting so many jars, I have 2 jars left on my pantry shelf. So I'm doing them again this year. This is my project tomorrow, in fact, and I will bring you along for that. I'm also doing jalapeno peppers for the freezer, one of my absolute favorites. So that's how we will use that. Okay, so now I'm gonna get some boxes moved out of the way so you can see the row here behind. I have 5 boxes of wide mouth, 5 boxes of normal jars, and then 1 box of, what was this, half gallon, I believe, jars. So I don't necessarily need jars, but I took advantage of Azure Standard having pint and a half jars. I don't have that one open. So this is the normal mouth, and then I have a wide mouth behind me. Pint and a halves will serve my family so much better for several items compared to a pint or a quart. And so these are really hard to find. And so when I saw somebody have this on their haul, I knew I was gonna order a bunch. I won't need any more for a long time unless I start breaking jars or something. So pint and a half jars. I am so excited. These will have to be processed for quart size, whatever it is I'm canning though. The half gallon is just for dry storage. Okay, this is where it kind of gets like Christmas. You get to kind of see what's in the boxes after you forget what you ordered. Okay, so every time I do an order, I will order butter. It's not always the same butter. It differs every time on the brand and type. So this time, because it was on sale, I got this type of salted butter. I just store it in the freezer. I will likely do another order in December or January, and I'll do butter again because fall time is coming and I do a lot of baking. These is a whole entire box of the sweet and spicy beef jerky sticks. My family absolutely loves those, including myself. And then I did just a jalapeno type of jerky stick. I can't make jerky sticks, so I purchased those. I do my own beef jerky quite often. It's a good way to empty out my freezer when I need to. Something I will always recommend is the cheese from Azure. The quality is just amazing. The flavor's so good. It stores impeccably. And if it starts getting a little past its prime, if I've not gone through all of it, it freezes beautifully. So this is Monterey Jack, 5 pounds. This is just sharp cheddar. I ordered a 5-pound bag of garlic because I was running low, and it was definitely cheaper to do this than purchase it at my farmer's market. Seasoning salt with fine Himalayan salt. So I wanted to try this because there's a Lawry's seasoning, I think. It's so spicy. It is so spicy. I think this will be a better quality. You can make your own all-purpose seasoning, and I plan to one day, but for now, with the amount of preserving and cooking and stuff I'm doing, I'm just gonna purchase it. This is mango puree. I have a recipe in mind where I thought this would work really well. Then I ordered a ton of Superb lids. I ordered an entire case of white and an entire case of regular. This will do me good for probably 2 canning seasons. Morning Dew Oil Serum. Just something for, you know, for my face, my skincare. Mine broke, so before I forget, and it's Thanksgiving morning, I just ordered a new baster. I ordered a spetzel. How do you say that? Spetzel maker. I had a hack that I used, but I thought, you know what, this was like $4 or something, so I just ordered it. Okay, 4 ounces of pizza seasoning, which is gluten-free and GMO-free. You can make your own, certainly, but sometimes when you have something quick and convenient for you, it's nice to have. We're going to be doing a lot of pizzas in the future, and so I thought that would be fun to have on hand. I did a really small organic with the A2 whole milk of plain yogurt, so I can make my own yogurt. You just need a little bit as a starter. You just have to check to make sure that it has live active cultures in the ingredients, and you don't want to use a flavored or sweetened yogurt. When you make it at home yourself, you can sweeten it and flavor it at the end. And then they have all these different books that I like to order from time to time. I got the Nourishing Asian Kitchen cookbook. Looks fabulous. I'm really excited to look through this. The Asian cuisine is one that my daughter and I specifically really enjoy, so I'm excited to look through that. And then the Regenerative Grower's Guide to Garden Amendments I thought would be a good read this winter as well. Okay, 2 more boxes. I don't think this is my box. It is not my box. I got somebody else's box. Okay, I ordered the duck and our hens some grubs, a nice little treat for them. My daughter loves peppermint tea. I have whole leaf tea here, but when she's with her dad, I think she probably would find it easiest to use a tea bag. So I went ahead and ordered that for her for this coming fall and winter. I have 2 family members who are dairy-free, and I thought this would be a nice little treat for them. It's a chocolate bar, and it's made with coconut milk and coconut palm sugar, so it's actually a little bit healthier for you in terms of the sugar glycemic index anyhow. So I thought that would be fun for them to try, a nice little sweet treat. It came in a package of 3. So I'll give one to each, and then I'll keep one here to give a little sweet treat when they come and visit. And then some dried mango. I'm actually a little disappointed about this. I thought it was going to be a much bigger bag, and I think I could probably get a better value at Costco. But I will try it and see and compare. I got this fun little garden planner, so hopefully it'll help me with my garden next year since I've increased the size. Anything that I can have to help me with the layout, when to grow things, is always helpful. And then lastly, more cheese. I got 2 blocks of mozzarella. Again, these store really well in the fridge, unopened. It'll last quite a while. Once you open it, if you don't think you're gonna go through all of it, I keep them in the freezer just in blocks. I actually took out quite a few yesterday for pizzas, and I'm thankful this order came because then I don't have any more mozzarella, so now I can restock. Oops. That's it. That's my Azure order. So Azure Standard is a family-owned farming business. They started through their own journey of healing. They converted their family farm that was set in some traditional ways and decided to expand and start looking into a more health, organic-free or organic, GMO-free, pesticide-free journey just for their own healing. And through that, they found people were interested in also living that lifestyle, and they started to grow and expand where they would do some deliveries for their produce and things that they grew there on their farm. It became so big that they little by little started to now transport across the country here in the United States their goods. They've brought other farmers and businesses on, and it's really a huge business now. It's GMO free, pesticide free, the values and principles that they live by. If you find a company being sold under the Azure Standard website, that means they also are in line with what their values and guidelines are. And so from my understanding, they are a bit strict in what they want to offer. And if you don't fit that need and you don't then make those additional changes, you're not going to sell your items through Azure. And so through Azure you're getting very good quality. You're also supporting other businesses and farmers who are like-minded when it comes to traditional values. And so I feel good about supporting that. There are items on Azure Standards website that are not organic. It's not 100% an organic company. So when it comes to cost, you certainly can decide cost-wise, or if it really matters to you, there are organic options, but there are also non-organic options. And what I really like is there are a lot of companies that are in transition. So they aren't technically certified yet to carry the organic label. They have to do that for so many years. I can't quite remember if it's like 3 or 5 years maybe. They have to go through quite a process to prove that they have not treated their farm with any pesticides or over a certain percentage even. You'll have to do some of that research yourself as to what that really means. But while they're in transition, they are technically organic. They just aren't allowed to hold that actual label just yet. So when you see organic on your foods, that means they have been certified organic. They are tested however often, they have to show and prove. Well, you have to have your farm or your items for so many years before you're able to get that label attached. And so while they're in transition, you are getting those organic items at a much cheaper discounted cost, because of course the process they had to go through to be organic is probably lengthy and expensive. And so once they are able to hold that word, that label, they probably will end up charging more, as they probably should. So you can find a lot of transitional items. It's a tad bit more than than the stuff that isn't in transition and not organic, but far cheaper than the organic stuff. So you get to decide what's really important for you when it comes to organic terms and what's not. You can get things for your farm, your garden, your livestock, your health and beauty. It's not just food, it's a lot of things. It's books, pretty much I have a plethora of probably everything here aside from like laundry detergent and cleaners and things, which I do order. I order a 25-pound bag of dry laundry detergent once a year. My family goes through one bag every year, and I usually order that in the winter time. So that's Azure. That's a little bit about them, what you can find. I'll put the link to their website in the description below. I don't make anything off of you know, I'm not affiliated with them in any sorts. I'm just sharing with you what I ordered through them. I do several orders throughout the year, and it keeps me out of the grocery store as best as I can. If I can't support a local farmer, then I like knowing I have this option for the needs that I have that also align with some of our family's values. So that's why I order through Azure. That's who they are. That was my big haul this time around, and with all of the projects that I have behind me, I will bring you along every time I'm in this kitchen preserving all the things that I got through this order today. So I hope you come back and see what I have going on. I thank you for supporting, and I hope that you like, comment, and share this video. I am slowly growing this channel, and I'm excited to have all of you along with me for that journey. I'll see you next time.